Okay, so my name is George. Some of you guys have been to some of the peak performance meetups before. Thank you for coming back, and for all the new faces, thank you for coming. Show of hands, who here is ketotic? Who here has ever heard the word ketotic? Oh, some people have. Okay, that's good. All right. So, what it is, you'll find out in one of the presentations. What a state of ketosis is. You might have heard of a ketogenic diet. I am actually in a state of ketosis right now, and it's not easy, but you'll get there, and then you'll feel great. So one of the presentations today that we're doing is going to be on low-carb dieting and how to be able to ditch carb dependency. Once you're able to do that, you're pretty much free until you go back to carbs, and then you're enslaved again. It's not easy. We also have a presentation on Nootropics, which is basically a cognitive supplement that will allow you to enhance brain activity and allow you to do the everyday activities that you need to better and better. So we have somebody presenting that, and then we also have another presentation who's going to come up right now. We have Benita from a company called Labdoor, which does research on several supplements, navigating the really complicated environment of buying supplements for yourself, because we don't know what is inside them. We don't know whether the quality is any good. We don't know whether they're effective. So Benita's company, Labdoor, has researched these supplements by buying them and actually figuring out what's inside them and whether A, they work, and B, they're good value. So I want to introduce Benita. Come on up. All right, and you have the floor.
I'm really excited to be here. My name is Benita. I come from a clinical medicine, public health, bioscience background, and I joined Labdoor about a year ago. And I'm basically the person who does all of their clinical literature research. We don't do clinical research in Labdoor. Speaking up. And I am the editorial director, so all of the content that you see on Labdoor's site. We also have a magazine. I'm basically the person who takes care of that. So I'm here to present Labdoor. With the show of hands, who's taking supplements? Okay, call out what you're taking, just all at once.
Multiple. Glucosamine.
Okay. Sorry, just the side. What are you guys taking?
Conjugated linoleic acid.
Nice. As much as possible, I want to make this presentation not a presentation and more of a conversation. And so if you ever want to interrupt me, that's cool. So let me take a category. How many of you have taken fish oil or some form of omega-3s? How, on a scale of 1 to 5, and you can show this on your hand, how confident were you in your purchase? 10. Oh, lots of overconfident people. Wait, keep your hands up. So who? Okay. So for those of you who have taken fish oil, I'm gonna make you guys pick another person who's raising their hand. Have a conversation with that person for a minute and talk to each other about how you made your purchasing decision. Yeah. Give me a their conversation was about? Yeah.
Mine was about going to Vitamin Shop, finding the cheapest one possible.
Ah, value. Nice. Yeah.
I trust someone's opinion, and
Okay.
I bought what he recommended.
Okay, so pure opinions.
I read a research report from a lab in Sweden that said that 95% of all fish oil is crap.
Yeah.
And I pointed out one
It's
product that
so
works.
good. Okay, great. So you picked a product from that study. Yeah.
Yeah, I was 100% confident with my choice, but apparently I didn't do that much research. Everything about Mercury and all that kind of stuff. Still not confident.
Great. Thanks for that honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone else had raised their hand. Yeah.
So mine was prescribed by a practitioner.
Louder.
Okay.
Mine was prescribed by a practitioner, and it's and they actually document how they go through the process that you can check. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
would give
curious
them.
how. Like,
Yeah, and they
what-
only sell 2 practitioners. One
okay.
practitioner, so I have to get mine on the back door through her. Yeah, and she chooses it just because of the whole process, its purity.
Okay. Great. Yeah.
I mean, so I pick the pills, and like he has the kind that goes in the fridge that you drink. So I'm not as I'm kind of a wuss, and I don't want to taste it. But it'd be interesting if it showed on the bottle like how much less efficacious it is due to the fact that
It
it's
would be
the pill
interesting.
kind. Like this is the gold standard. You're going down in like this
Yeah.
level deviation from doing the more wussy thing. or
Yeah.
whatever.
And you're saying that you didn't have that information available.
Yeah, it's not legal. It's not illegal.
Okay. Anyone else on this side? Yeah.
Because I just took the one that everyone would ignore because it's just disgusting. So I feel like it's more natural. So
Okay.
you take the liquid one. You take the liquid one. No like added taste, and it goes bad within 60 days if you don't keep it in the fridge. So then I know when I look at all the other ones next to it, I know everyone is designed to consume it in a more like easy way.
Yeah. Like there's more processing
So
involved.
yeah,
you're saying.
I just take the most disgusting one.
Yeah.
Mine was recommended by my naturopathic doctor,
Okay.
and then it was highly stressed that they weren't farmed, they were wild last examined, and then did my research on where it was on.
Okay.
Cool. They were all finished out.
Okay. Interesting. Did anyone actually look at the data for the testing of the supplements they took? Yeah. Where did you find yours?
Like deep internet.
What does that mean?
And also my acupuncturist and I had 8 weeks of where to start.
Okay. Was it a supplement testing company that had tested it?
Third-party testing.
Third-party testing. Good. Anyone else look at data? Yeah.
My criteria is the further it is away, and by it I mean the fish away from a city, hopefully the purer it is.
Yeah. Are you going out there to figure
No,
out?
I'm just buying it on the internet from Alaska.
Okay.
So after hearing all these comments, you're making me really scared right now.
Yeah. Like, where's the objectivity? I'm really encouraged that some people are doing the research, but it's hard to find that information, right? And some of us believe that like we go on Amazon and if we read 2,000-3,000 reviews on a product, that somehow we'll sort of figure out like the overall sense for the quality of a product. I'm going to show you some contrary evidence. But in this talk, basically, I'll show you what's happening in the supplement industry that makes it so hard for you to buy a good product, for you to have that data. I'll show you our research process and testing process. Give you some of the highlights that we found in terms of testing the products that are out there on retail shelves, and then show you how it makes sense to have data and how we're affecting the market based on your purchases through Labdoor. And I'll tell you a little bit about what's coming up in testing for us. So, we're all scared. Let me show you some of the recent headlines and scare you a little bit more. I just Googled these very quickly. I Googled supplement news, and these headlines appeared on the first 3 or 4 pages of Google News. And it's a concern. Like, it's not just a concern amongst us. Supplements are getting out that can contain anything, that are not accurate. banned substances, even when they're banned, can end up back in supplements on retail shelves. This was an article featuring oxaliprine, which was labeled by a different name that seemed natural, and in fact it was a really dangerous stimulant. We're seeing from medical journals that supplements cause many emergency room visits, 23,000 in fact. Nature Made, very popular supplement. I used to take Nature Made. They recalled a bunch of supplements recently. Pet supplements, lead, so heavy metals. So it's a concern. I'm concerned. And it doesn't leave us with a lot of room for figuring out what to do with that kind of hype, right? The other thing that happened a little more than a decade ago in 1994 was that the FDA basically spelled out that they were going to just let the industry self-regulate itself. This is actual wording inside the law that supplements can get to market without proving their accuracy, without proving their safety, and the FDA would have to check each one by one, out of a $37 billion industry to figure out if those supplements were valid. It's like in the writing, and that's like not real to me. Then, even the FDA knows that they're not regulating the industry. So this is from their FAQ page. And these are questions that we ask every day. Which brands do we buy? How do we know what's inside a supplement if it's contaminated? And basically, the FDA says that they don't test supplements. Their goal in writing on their homepage is to protect consumers from dangerous supplements, and then they don't test them. And then this is what I find funny in their last sentence is, you may wish to ask your healthcare provider, who's just as aware of data as we are, or unaware. And this last sentence, if you have questions about a specific brand of supplements, you can contact the manufacturer for more information. And obviously, who's going to be most biased about their product? The manufacturers themselves. So, the FDA knows that it's a problem. And actually, yes, like 4 days ago, the last 6 commissioners of the FDA basically stated that they regretted not being able to regulate the industry. So, it's a problem. So what are we left with? We're left with, we mentioned Amazon reviews, peer opinions, recommendations from physicians. I'm going to show you why Amazon doesn't work. So just offhand, these 2 reviews are from one product. And we know this is like basically the case for any product on Amazon. You'll find 5-star reviews and 1-star reviews. And do we care about this? Like, the flavor wasn't good. Is it effective? How do we know? We don't know. And the same thing goes for, like, who's bought supplements from bodybuilding.com here? Yeah. Same issue. There's a lot of brand loyalty out there, and that's what's guiding reviews. So, like, this guy says nothing about the products except for the fact that he trusts the guy who makes it. Hello.
I apologize.
No,
And
welcome.
I came in from the East Bay.
Yeah, welcome. So that's another purchasing decision that we go through. Like, we know CVS, right? We trust them. They're a very like well-regarded brand, and so we buy their supplements. Or we go to Costco, buy the Kirkland brand. So brand loyalty, not objective, but what other choice, right? So I'll show you why that doesn't work. Labdoor, at Labdoor we took a selection of popular protein products and we had ranked them based on our testing process. And in this column, these are Amazon ratings. This is bodybuilding.com ratings. We normalized all of those grades and I found that the distributions were kind of similar. And we wanted to see if they had a correlation. Because we wanted to see if Amazon reviews had a correlation to objective data, like the kind of data that we were getting from laboratory results. And if you know anything about Pearson's correlation coefficients, the more the points line up on a diagonal, the more correlation there is. And that does not look like a line. That looks like a smattering of dots. And so really there wasn't any correlation between Amazon ratings and bodybuilding.com ratings. Yeah?
Did you filter for based, obvious based?
Yep. So in these review counts, every one of them we read. We know that in Amazon, some of them were paid for, but we took those into account because that's like factoring into the overall average. But yeah. So even across consumer reviews, there isn't a correlation. And then this is those consumer reviews against Labdoor ratings. This article is actually up in Labdoor magazine if you want to look into it more. But basically, like, we would hope that thousands and thousands of consumer reviews would have an effect, right? Would have a positive effect on our purchasing decision, and yet they don't make sense. So that's the problem. So Labdoor was designed basically to fill that need. Since there wasn't a trusted way before Labdoor, we found like a really cool movement happening with consumers going on Labdoor to look at our data to, like, this is the way to buy products. Like, you want to know exactly what's in your product. You want to know exactly the active ingredients, the contaminants, what inactives are in there, and that's how we test. And so, given the data, you can decide for yourself whether or not that's effective for you. Okay, so as George said, we take supplements secretly off of retail shelves. We buy them off of Amazon. We buy them off of Costco shelves, CVS shelves, and we don't tell manufacturers that we're going to be testing them. And then we test them. All in FDA registered laboratories, and then we score and rank them based on a formula, an algorithm that we created with clinical research and the objective data that we collect from labs. And that's just some of the bits and pieces of our laboratory testing. Okay. So what makes a supplement good? Opening conversation. Value. You like the results?
Labdoor results.
Oh. But what do you look for in a supplement?
Purity.
Purity, great.
Quality.
Okay, well, how do you define quality?
When you feel like it increases your workout, for example.
So you
like you
feel it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
What else?
natural ingredients, like natural in a sense, like not chemical based, but more like vegetable based.
Okay.
You're getting what's advertised on the bottle.
Right. Accuracy.
Absorption.
Yep. Bioavailability. Are you
Like,
gonna?
no artificial fillers or
Okay.
toxins.
Cool. Fillers, like lacta fillers. Yeah. Those are great, and those are exactly the components we put into our score. These are the major ones. Label accuracy. We penalize products heavily for being over or under their label claims. More for being under because that's not nice. They're like making money off of us. Purity, we test for anything from heavy metals to contaminants like, anyone heard of PCBs in fish oil? neurodegenerative diseases caused by that. What about pesticides? Yeah. Microbial contaminants. So all that kind of stuff we test for, and we penalize products for having them. Currently we're using Prop 65 to guide some of the heavy metal levels. Ingredient safety, so we test whether products are above tolerable levels that have been deemed to be safe. So, and inside ingredient safety we also include those excipients, so artificial sweeteners, artificial coloring agents, preservatives. The nutritional value is something that comes up in gummy vitamins often because of their sugar content. Also protein. Protein seems to have a bunch of sodium. Did you know that? It's like causing you to feel bloated and like it fills you out because you're like absorbing water and not gaining muscle mass. Projected efficacy is a little bit more complicated, and I'll go into that more. And then price and value, we also look at price per serving.
What about the source, like the manufacturer? Are they done in the US or overseas?
Oh, so that doesn't matter to us as much because regardless of where it's tested, or regardless of where it's made, we'll be testing for all the contaminants. Like anything from China or like developing countries, they're held to the same standards. So like heavy metal testing, they're held to California Prop 65 standards. They're held to RDAs that are set by the USDA, tolerable upper limits that are set. Like they're all held to the same standard. So we welcome people from other countries to make their supplements. Just make them well.
How about stuff like legal, doping questions and
Yes. Oh, so good. Inside ingredient safety, a lot of our sports-related products like protein and pre-workouts, we test them for banned substances, so like amphetamines and that. Yeah.
Because you read a lot about athletes that
being caught for things that they didn't even.
They don't know what they're actually taking.
It's so unfortunate. Yeah.
And it's just they off the shelf pre-workout, and they get like.
Yes. Or someone recommended it to them, and so we definitely test for that too. Mm-hmm. So we do all the testing, get the data, and we do like pretty simple math sometimes. We for example, this is pretty simple. We have active ingredients for something, and then we'll calculate the label accuracy variance, and then ingredients per dollar. But something like efficacy, a little more complicated. This calculation, we involve a lot more research into the clinical studies available. So, for example, zinc comes in many different forms: zinc oxide, zinc gluconate, zinc methylmethionine, and zinc citrate. So amino acid chelates, organic compounds, inorganic compounds. We'll take that and look at the bioavailability of each one of those, look at how much zinc is in each molecule. And then we'll also look at PK data, pharmacokinetic data, which is basically how much a dose gets into your bloodstream. And that's not linear, so we weight products based on that curve. And all of that goes into our reports. And each product is graded on those 5 criteria. So, product. Oh yes. Hello.
How do you measure bioavailability? What's that?
We don't measure it. There are clinical research studies available to test how much of a dose is taken and then how much of it is absorbed. And absorption is defined different ways for different supplements. So sometimes that means measuring a blood level. Sometimes that means taking a fat sample and seeing how much of that's absorbed into the fat. So it depends.
Okay, but you look it up in the table.
We look it up in clinical research, yeah. Yep. But not just one study, so let me clarify that. We take we do our own meta-analysis of research studies. Yeah.
Okay.
no questions. So now I'm just gonna get into showing you our product, and I hope you're excited because this is like data. It's all about data these days.
Excited to do it.
Okay. Well, so in a category like magnesium, it's been graded against the category averages. This one was ranked 1 in quality. It was graded an A, something like this. This is our lowest ranked product. It had a lot of heavy metals in it. It reached really dangerous levels of actives. And I'll show you where that comes from on our website. How am I doing on time? Sorry.
5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yes. Where did? Oh, lots of windows. Okay, how do I do this?
In the browser?
This one? Oh, there we go. I see you too. Okay, this is our website right now. We're in a really exciting phase of our company because we're building out everything and optimizing everything. But currently, this is it. And you can go here to our rankings. Okay.
How do you guys make money?
Oh, yes, good question. I'll show you in a second because you'll see it all over. This is our rankings page. Current offerings, upcoming rankings, follow. So we really do take into account your votes and your opinions. So follow to vote. We're going to be testing glutamine and vitamin B, I think, next. So
What is fertility and what is recovery?
yeah, recovery is going to be parsed out. It's any kind of recovery workout protein supplement mixtures, proprietary blends, and we're going to try to reverse engineer those blends. Okay, fertility, we will look into that research. Okay.
What brands do you research? Do you just do a mixed bunch, or do you have a set group that you really
No, we don't actually afford any priorities to specific brands. We really want in good faith to help consumers as much as possible, and so we'll take the most popular ones that are being bought on Amazon or Costco or CP, like at the major retailers. If you have a request for a product, and I should say this, you can always email us and we will mark your vote individually. We get about like 300 or 400 different product requests constantly in every week. So
From who?
just you guys.
So people ask you to
Yeah.
review specific product. Okay.
Yeah, and we'll take your vote, and depending on the popularity of those votes, we'll see how to prioritize our testing. Yeah.
Have you gotten backlash from the distributors?
Yes, but it's exciting.
How long have you been in business?
It's been almost 5 years now, so that's good. Yeah, in terms of litigation, there really isn't anything that we need to prove other than the fact that we have credible chemistry analysis techniques, and we test them at another outside of our jurisdiction chemical lab and prove that their data is similar. So we've never had a problem with litigation, but we've had backlash, and I'll tell you some stories later that are pretty cool. Yeah.
Are there certain brands that stand out as far as quality?
No, and that's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
So, like Kirkland, for example, did really well in multivitamins and did so poorly in fish oil. Yeah, it's all over the place. A couple companies are standing out in protein and like BCAAs and amino acids, but there's always room for them to shift, right? So if a company performs better than them, right now my protein is doing really well. Who takes my protein? No one.
My protein.
Yeah. Let me go through our rankings.
How often do you redo those researches?
Our goal is to new lots for supplements come out maybe 2 times a year. So we want to at least retest the category every year. Yeah. But you'll see the lot numbers on our reports as well, so you can check how updated they are. Okay, let's look at protein then. No?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Leave it.
Okay.
Nobody takes
Here are protein. So you can go to our rankings, select a category. Protein is here. We'll have statistics on all of our data. This is our summary. And we have rankings based on quality and value. So my protein is doing really well. Integrated supplements is also doing really well. And this is what you'll get.
Do you guys also test like shelf life?
No, we don't. Increasingly, we're trying to test fish oil for that reason because they do go rancid faster. And so we'll test for oxidation levels in those supplements. And so you can get a good estimate for maybe when they'll expire.
Do all the A+ together qualify as number 1 and A- as number 2, or do they have an actual order?
Yeah, so there's some differentiation between them. Products that score a certain number or higher are given a grade. And then inside those grades, they'll also be ranked. Yeah.
What about price? Because like there's some supplements out there that are $100, $150 a bottle. And then could be another supplement that might be $30 or $40 a bottle. Do you guys rate, factor in price, in your rankings? And excuse me, and then the next question would be, you get what, the saying, you get what you pay for. So if you're paying $100 for a supplement, do you find that there's a pattern that those expensive supplements it's all an illusion for some of them?
Yes. And you'll find that here. You can compare quality rankings. Oh man, I'm running out of time. You can compare quality rankings to value rankings, and we'll include a quality component to the value ranking. So we'll say like this quality product is worth this much per serving. And you'll see like here, best value goes to the top quality products. Sometimes that doesn't happen, but I guess in this case it does. But yeah, so you can filter based on value also.
Did you take into account any GMO ingredients?
We've been looking into that. It's really hard for companies to test post-market because DNA has been so just broken up in the processing of supplements. That's the problem with the supplement industry right now, is that testing doesn't happen pre-market. So we're really trying to get into manufacturing plants and following their manufacturing process to see where their ingredients are coming from. But yeah, it's hard to test after they get to retail shelves. Okay, so questions, no questions. Okay, let me just show you a quick report. Yes. Go.
So if you're taking a supplement and you find out it's a seed, is that whoa, don't do that ever?
Oh, okay. So no, that's a good question too. Like I went over, there are multiple components that go into a product score. Some of those, like label accuracy, might not be a big issue to you, right? Or efficacy, you might want a lower dose, right? Our scoring is based on our own value objectives, but you might have your own criteria. And so this is the reason why I want to bring up this report, is because say you have a fairly regular diet and you know that you're specifically deficient in a certain amount of vitamins. You can go to each product. So say you want to choose a product in the A category and you want to see what they actually contain. You can find that out in our reports. maybe that's not necessary right now. Okay. Come on.
Are each of the categories weighted equally, like between middle accuracy?
No, so they're weighted differently. I should have mentioned that. Currently it's efficacy and purity. So purity in terms of like the most dangerous contaminants you can have, heavy metals, PCBs, microbial, yeah.
Pesticides?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can look. Oh man. Let me tell you stories as we wait on what we're doing in the industry. So one person here asked if we had any problems with company Backlash. We have. And really for us, we don't have legal issues with it. We're not going to pay to argue with them. We have our data and we're going to present it. And they'll call us up, like last week someone called us up and said, we're ranked at 10 and we're losing sales. We're losing millions of dollars in sales because you ranked us at 10. And so they called us up and asked us, like, how much can we pay you to get ranked higher? Right?
You should have said $1 million and kept them at 10.
You should have taken money and then purchased all their product and then remove it out of the market.
Well, so what we told them was basically how you can get ranked higher. Like, how do you get ranked higher? Just make a better product. Yeah. Right? 2 years ago, one product did the exact same thing, and they came back to us with a new product formulation, and they ranked, instead of like 20-something, they were ranked in the top 10. And so we're, like, you guys are changing the industry based on your purchasing decisions and your dollars. You're making, like, you're joining a movement, and I love that part of Labdoor. I won't go into all this, but this is some of the highlights. Basically, it's to say we're doing good work. Current rankings. Let me just go into like a little bit of what's up for us. We're testing supplements right now, but in the next 2-3 years, we want to expand outside of that to more consumer goods. So in this year, we're hoping to test either something like baby formula or dog food for their macronutrients. And we'd love to be that company that you can just get your objective data from. Regardless of our rankings, you can go on there and figure out what's inside your products. Why are you paying so much? Is it safe, effective? And you don't have to rely on Amazon reviews or like celebrity endorsements. Like, this is the way to go. It makes sense to me. And that is my presentation. Yes.
So I've really noticed one of the slides is mentioned like universal engineering proprietary plans.
Oh,
give
yeah.
some insight like about how you do it, the strategy you use.
Yeah. So that was specific to a couple categories. Pre-workouts was one of them, and we took the serving. We took a serving of the pre-workout, tested it for common ingredients that are in pre-workouts like beta-alanine, caffeine, and then figured out how much of that comprised that serving, and then filtered out the rest of it like with gas chromatography, figuring out like what compounds are in there. Mm-hmm. We actually found an amphetamine in one of the pre-workout supplements, so if you're taking those, just be aware. Yeah.
Do you ever find correlations between ones that mark really low with like a factory, for example? Like, oh, all of these that have really low rankings are coming out of this one factory in Morocco, or and then
not yet. The problem is, like, right now we're testing a lot of U.S. supplements, and brands do like well for some products and not so well for other products, and they're in the same manufacturing plant. So, yeah, not yet.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, ask me questions later.
Everybody will probably be available afterwards. Oh,
shoot, sorry, yes.
I'd sit down for that.
Basically, we're asking you guys to join the movement, and so you can purchase supplements through our site. You don't have to, but we offer that opportunity, and we get affiliate links from them. Okay.
Seriously, right?